afternoon, everyone. I am glad to welcome all board members to the Annual General Meeting 2021. Present at the meeting today is Ms. Aina, our Financial Manager, Ms. Alia as CIMB Bank Representative, while Ms. Rabiatul as Representative of Top Glove Cooperation Sdn Bhd, shareholder. Before we go further, may I ask, are there any apologies for absence from today's meeting?
No.
Okay, thank you everyone. Can we proceed for the agenda?
Yes, Miss.
Alright, basically, today our agenda in this meeting is to determine that whether we can apply loan from CIMB Bank for our special project, which is Project A, that we have discussed at the meeting a few days ago. So, let's start our meeting with company financial position. Ms. Aina, can you explain about our company financial position right now?
Thank you, Miss Chairperson. Now I will explain in detail about the company financial position from the year 2020 until 2021. As the figures stated in the slide, entirely from the statement of company financial position, we can see that our total asset and total liabilities has increased from year 2020 until 2021. Even the liability is increased, but it will not affect the performance of the company as the total assets is greater than the total liability, which means good for the company to settle its liabilities. Other than that, the value of current assets is increased to RM 4,345,757 million, while the value of current liabilities also has increased to RM 2,198,487 million in 2021. Besides that, the non-current asset increased to RM 5,436,667 million, while the non-current liability has decreased to RM 363,777 in 2021. Last but not least, we can see that the total equity has increased at RM 7,220 160 million in 2021, which means there's a growth in a company profits.
Okay, Ms. Aina, may I know what's your opinion about our project?
Sure, in my opinion, I agree with our plan to apply loan to invest in Project A, since our company has enough cash to pay its debt.
Okay, thank you for your explanation and opinion. So, how about our company performance in financial analysis, Ms. Aina?
First of all, I will be explaining on liquidity ratios of the company. As seen on the slide, it shows the trend analysis for the company from year 2020 until 2021, and the comparison between our company with industry average. For the company current ratio, the ratios are decreased from year 2020 until 2021, which is from 2.01 times to 1.76 times. This means that the company cannot meet its short-term obligation. Besides that, for the quick ratios, it decreased from 1.76 times to 1.46 times, which means the company do not have ability to pay its short-term obligation on time without having to rely on inventory and prepaid. The net working capital for the company also decreased by RM 7,859 from year 2020 to 2021. That's all for the analysis of liquidity ratios from year 2020 until 2021. Next, I will give an explanation on the comparison between Top Glove Corporation Berhad with industry average. From the slide, it shows that the value of all ratios for industry average is higher than our company.
Okay, from the situation, what should we do in order to compete with the industry average?
Our company have to increase the assets or reduce the current liability with paying off the liabilities in order to increase its liquidity ratios. since the industry average is greater than the company.
Okay, I will take note for your explanation. So, how about other performance of financial analysis?
For now, I will be explained on activity ratios, as I already explained to you all about the liquidity ratios yearly. It shows that a lot of decrease in inventory turnover from year 2020 to 2021, which is 8.27 times to 4.59 times. It will be worse for the company since it will affect the effectiveness of inventory to generate sales. For the account receivable turnover, it increased from year 2020 to 2021, which is from 9.06 times to 2.89 times, which means it can collect the account receivables fast. For the average collection period, the value in 2021 is lower, which is 12 days compared to 2020, which is 40 days. It indicates that in 2020, the company cannot collect its debt as fast as 2021. For the fixed asset turnover, it increased from year 2020 to 2021, which is from 1.6 times to 3 times. Lastly, for the total asset turnover, also it slightly increased from year 2020 to 2021, which is from 0.83 times to 1.67 times. It shows the company not effective in using their fixed assets to generate sales.
Okay, how about our profitability ratios, Miss Aina?
Next, we will move on to the profitability ratios. For the gross profit margin, it seems increased from 39.38% in 2020 to 67.85% in 2021, which means company did well in managing its cost of sales. For operating margin, it also increased at 29.92% to 61.33% from 2022 to 2021. This means our company works in their operation. For the net profit margin, it also increased at 24.71% to 47.82%, means that the company have a better income to shareholders. For return on asset, it increased, which is 20.55% to 79.98% from 2020 to 2021, which means in 2021, our company have a higher return on investment. Last but not least, for our return on equity, it seems there's a lot of increase from 28.89% to 108.36%. This means our company have a greater return to shareholders.
May I know about your company's leverage ratio?
The last ratio is the leverage ratios. For the debt ratios, we can see that in 2021, it is doing better than in 2020, where the value is 26% rather than 29%. This indicates that company have a higher amount of debt to finance its assets. For the second ratios, we have debt to equity ratios. For these ratios, it shows the relative proportion of shareholders' equity and debt used to finance a company asset. The values that the percentage in 2021 is lower than 2020, which is 0.5 times than 0.62 times. This means in 2021, the creditors provide RM 0.5 for RM 1 ringgit provided by owners. The creditor's position is less risky compared to the owners. See, the value in 2021 is higher than 2020, which at 180.30 times than 119.32 times. Finally, we can see on the slide that all the value of our company ratio is higher than industry average except for average collection period. Even our average collection period is lower than industry average, it doesn't mean that our company is worse, but also it's a good thing since our company is efficient in collecting debts in a short time. Meanwhile, for the comparison of profitability ratios, the all value for our company ratios is higher than industry average, which indicates that our company is efficient in generates profit for the shareholders.
Okay, now I want to ask you, Miss Aina. For our project A, are you agree with our agenda to obtain loan from CIMB Bank?
I'm agree with our agenda to obtain loan because right now our company is in favorable condition.
Alright. So, Miss Alia, did we meet the requirements to apply for CIMB Bank loans for our project?
Alright, Miss Fatin. Hello aboard everyone. As you are informed, I am a CIMB Bank representative. After going over every aspect of this company's financial statement, the result in 2021 were better than were in 2020. This indicates that your company has a better chance of getting a loan. I can obviously see that your company is improving much better in 2021. This can be proven as your company total equity has increased at RM9782,424 million in 2021, which means there is a growth in the company's profit based on the ratio presented by your company's financial manager, Ms. Aina, which I know just now. Aside from that, this company has reached a point where the equity ratio is 50%. Yet, your company has proved that your assets are more than your debt, as seen by the debt ratio of 26%. Finally, in the year 2021, this company enhanced its ability to pay interest on its loan by 180.30 times. To summarize, this project is appropriate for your company and your company meets the requirement for applying for CIMB bank loans.
Okay, before we make a decision, may I know about your perspective, Miss Rabiatul?
Thank you all participate in the annual meeting of Top Clef Corporation Berhad. Before we started, I'm in charge for this company for pay higher dividend with 2 years with 2020 and 2021. Based on the return on assets show the increase 20.55% to 79.98% from the year 2020 to 2021. This means the ratio payouts for the investment higher that the company have great performance on profit during 2021. However, the information from return on equity based from the statement relate that the company managed to provide investors with insight how efficiently the team handling money through the corporation. In other words, the measure probability has 28.89% and 108.36% increase within year 2020 and 2021. That gives strong evidence to other shareholders to invest in our company. As the result, we agree with the company reach and achieve probability measurement. So, Ms. Fatin, will you proceed the project A?
Regarding to all of useful explanation, I think we should proceed in applying the loan for our special project, which is Project A. Then, should we end this meeting?
Yes.
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 Okay, thank you all for your cooperation. Until we meet again in the next meeting.